Hello. Hello, Red Seraph. You're so right. Easy game.
Easy game.
All
you gotta do is type help.
Yeah, you just gotta type help. I was just putting on some Nancy Drew music because I realized this game doesn't have sound. It's just built in Twine.
Makes sense.
But let me know how the sound is, I guess. I have the music a little bit soft because we're going to be talking over it.
This music is from Danger by Design.
Whoa, no way.
I've heard this for 30 hours. I know it.
Did you just have like a reaction to hearing it?
I did.
Ah, great.
What part of the game is this from?
This is... Ooh. This is later in the game. I think this plays in Dieter's studio, but I could be wrong.
I also haven't played Danger by Design, so that, like, doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know why I
We
asked.
watched Blade Runner with our partners recently, and there are a couple of moments that have a striking visual similarity to Danger by Design.
Oh, do you
Wild.
think Ridley Scott was inspired? It's Ridley Scott, right?
Yeah,
I'm.
you got it, Juliet. It
Yeah.
is Ridley Scott.
I mean, if we can segue nicely from Blade Runner to the only Beatles movie I've ever seen, Help.
Holy fucking shit. Okay.
Oh, we're Happy Tuesday, everybody.
The one with Ringo, and they're trying to paint Ringo red. Yeah. I don't know if there are typewriters in it. I haven't seen it in, I don't know, 20 years.
The only Beatles movie I've ever seen is the Yellow Submarine movie when I was like 16. And both me and my mom came out of it like, yeah, that was pretty good. It's probably better if you're doing acid though.
Alright, I'm gonna start the game.
Great.
I have not played on this computer, so I'm starting a new save file. I'm going to try really hard not to make the mistake I did while playing it at work and hit load instead of save and lose all of my progress.
Oh my
no.
god. Marn, no.
Which is part of the reason I like cold stopped playing it.
Oh no.
I will say, for the uninitiated, this is a murder mystery game. From what I have played, I am pretty sure all of the murder happens off screen. But I know that there is like very heavily implied supernatural stuff going on, as well as like memory manipulation stuff, I believe. I am not far into it enough to know if there's any other content warnings, but I don't think there are, from what I've seen in like the itch.io comments and stuff.
Do we think, from like a content warning perspective, that any of us are in any danger?
No, I don't think so.
Great.
A lot of this game is like stuff that is being implied to you, and you have to like figure out connections between stuff. You'll see what I mean when we get into it. Also, this game has a note-taking feature. I might like open a notepad at some point, but it has like a built-in note-taking feature, and it has a built-in feature to rename characters for reasons that you'll see when we get into it.
Oh, great. Also, I'm gonna say for people who hang out on Visual Novel Saturdays, brain memory.
Alright, click to begin. On Sunday, the 7th of March, 1936, a group of locals walked the long and muddy track to Galley House. As far as any of them were aware, the house had been empty for decades. What brought them there that day remains unclear. The first thing they saw as they arrived was the body of a man in his early 40s lying face down outside the front door. The blood was still dripping down the steps. After no one responded to their knocks, the decision was made to break in. More bodies were found as they searched. All had died recently. However, with the exception of a couple of the more recent corpses, the causes of death could not be identified. The authorities were called, and since then, very little information has been released. Only one of the victims has ever been publicly identified. The press made the most of the accounts of the locals, but with very little to go on, the tale of Galley House was slowly forgotten. No one alive knows what happened that day, and it seems likely that no one ever will.
No one alive, huh?
Yeah, no one alive. Night of Neils, I am totally fine with chat guessing and theorizing. Because when I tried to play this game myself, I hit a point where I felt like I was hitting my head against a brick wall, which is why I was like, oh, I want to do this on stream so that it becomes a group activity.
And also so that you can then turn hitting your head against a brick wall into content.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or at least, like, think out loud.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wizard BIOS. Okay.
So this is the main function. This is the main feature of the game. It's a search bar.
Now, is this like hit game Her Story?
It is a little. It is, honestly, God, it is a little bit like Her Story.
Okay.
Welcome username 2. To view your messages 1, type inbox. To view your stored files, type list. To view your saved sessions, type save.
So, does anything happen if you type in something that isn't help?
I think it just gives you an error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if you type in Galley House, for example. Okay. Just was curious.
Yeah, you can, I believe, sequence break and use commands that you, like, aren't supposed to have access to yet, because there's, like, nothing that they can put in place to stop you from doing that.
I was gonna say, there's absolutely hidden commands. I am familiar.
Okay, so we have the autosave. That's good. I won't touch that.
Marn, I understand what happened to you.
Yeah.
That is pretty unintuitive.
Wow,
I would
yeah,
say.
that's awful.
Uh-huh. They
That's
just
not-
replaced the save button with a load button when you have a save in that slot.
Now, I don't agree with that design choice, but okay.
Yeah. You can't save over the... That's terrible.
And then I didn't want to redo all my progress, and also I was at work, and I was like, this isn't worth it. Alright, let's go. Let's just do it in order.
I was gonna say inbox.
Who wants to read Brief from Alan Thomas?
Sure, I'll do it. You're currently in possession of the computer our agent was using at the time of his death. Awkward. This is the only source of information we have as to what happened that day. Our records don't identify him by name, only as an outsider hired during the horror days, okay, to work on the case. I don't remember much from back then, but suffice to say it was a waking nightmare for everyone involved. We were desperate for a solution. And then one day, it all stopped. I was much more junior then, so I wasn't kept in the loop, unfortunately. All I know is there was a concerted effort to never mention the case again. Ugh. That doesn't bode well. This computer was locked away, and we were given strict instructions as to when it could be examined. They also detailed a list of names prohibited from ever learning its contents, myself included. Huh? That's where you come in. I'm sure it can't be that... Oh, no. Famous last words, buddy. I'm sure it can't be that dangerous, whatever's written in there. The thing is, if we don't know why the death stopped, then we can't be certain they won't start up again. So I've moved the examination date forward a little. It can't hurt to be prepared. I'll admit, though, even with access to the old database, I've still managed to glean embarrassingly little about this case. Well, you're not supposed to be fucking reading this, dog! Only one man really knew what was going on, and his hard drive is now in your hands. All you need to do is work out what he did that solved the case. I don't know what else you might find. Wait, okay, so he solved it?
Supposedly.
And then immediately died. Yikes. I don't know what else you might find, but it goes without saying that you're to disregard any potentially sensitive information. That could be anything, bro. These are the only file names we've been able to recover. I suggest you start there. Yeah, whatever. Don't ask me what the file names mean. If you can figure that out yourself, then I'm sure the rest will follow. The last one's a bit corrupted, but you may be able to fill in the gaps. Best of luck, Alan. I forgot his last name already.
Oh, that's why I need a notepad file to write down these file names. Alright. Oh, thank you, Juliet, for just typing them in Discord.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh, list. Read me. Most of the audio is pretty low quality, but I've tried my best with what you've given me. To access a file, just type the file name into the box at the top. Hopefully you can read my handwriting. Already, I think you were right about your suspicions. We were lucky to find this case, and even luckier they kept the bodies.
We were lucky to find this case?
Lucky
Why?
to get the bodies.
Can we... is 26-EN-1 an actual file?
That is a great question. Oh shit, it is! I never tried that!
See? I'm helping already!
There's a loud thud and then silence. The audio keeps going though for an upsettingly long time. Nonetheless, nothing more of interest can be heard. There are no more footsteps, no more whispers, no more dramatic weather events, just a quiet wind. When you finish looking over everything, let me know what you think. Edit. Looking back at all the deaths, it's clear there's one that doesn't quite fit the pattern. Why? Edit. My theory was correct. I've added one more scene that should complete the chain of events. Okay, so this has to be like the last
I think it might be
thing.
the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, because it has like the notes. The last except for like this one last scene, maybe.
Yeah, whatever the last scene is.
Okay.
So what is our goal as the players?
So our goal is to find all of these files.
Okay.
And in looking at the first few, you will come to understand how the file names work and how you can deduce what the other file names are.
And so, are we looking for QU-1-11, or are we looking to see what that actually corresponds to for a file?
That's the file name. It's always a number, a 2-letter initial, and then a sequence of other numbers.
Okay.
Can I point out 3 things that we already have right now?
Yeah.
Okay. The first is we have 01, 02, 03, 04, and then 26 is potentially the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that something doesn't fit to the pattern in one more scene that should complete the chain of events. There are 26 letters, question mark, or that the agent died immediately. Did the agent need to stage their own death in some way to complete the chain of events?
Oh.
If we look at the initials, because 26-EN-1, that 2-letter initial matches the 02. 02-EN-1-6-7-10. I wonder if that means anything.
It's possible.
We've got a numerical code. The other thing we have is, and this is just a coincidence almost certainly, but if you look at 03, 04, and 26, the numerically 3 last ones that we currently have, the letters spell out Listen.
Oh.
So we have Quen and Listen in case Quen ends up being a name that shows up at some point. Anyways, just wanted to point that out as, like, before we learn anything else, we've got some potential patterns.
We do. I'm just going to put these 3 in to unlock them, because then when I go to list, they will be there.
Okay, and I'm guessing that pink is the one that we have open right now.
Yes. Yeah. And
Okay.
then we can go in order. And then we have to figure out what for.
113.
Okay. I think that is explained in a help document that we don't have yet. But
Cool.
I can spoil...
That has meaning.
Yes. I will spoil you for the fact that that's, like, out-of-game meaning. That means that there's that many, like, number of clues to find a different file in that file.
My then immediate thought was, if there's something missing from the pattern, I was like, that's Fibonacci just missing the 2.
That's like an anti-frustration feature that the creator put in, basically.
Thank you. All right, I want to see 01.
Okay.
Start from the top. Let's go.
Who wants to read 1 and who wants to read 11? Because they are different guys.
I'll
take 1.
11.
Cool. I will read stage directions. The rain is louder outside, making it tricky to hear what they're saying.
Blast! The damn thing's stuck. Can you push harder?
An engine whirs to life. There's a few seconds of chaos.
It won't do. It just won't. We're not moving, sir, and I can't help it.
Yes, I see.
We'll come back tomorrow, sir, when it's light outside.
Blast the damn thing. Blast this weather. Sorry. You work for Rupert, do you?
For as long as I can remember, sir.
Well, I hope he knows what a foul situation he's put me in.
There's a loud thunderclap overhead. It's the same one you can hear in the other scenes.
You'll follow me now, won't you, sir? The house is not far from here. Just mind your step.
Thanks. Oh, bloody devil. I shouldn't have worn these shoes.
I must ask, sir, are you friends of the galleys?
Never heard of them. Do you know why I've been invited here?
I can't say I do, sir, but we do have a number of other guests with us this evening. I'm sure it will be a night to remember.
It's strange. I received an invitation earlier this week. I have no idea who from, but for whatever reason I decided to come anyways. It's only just dawning on me how mad of an idea this actually is.
No, they found an invitation when they searched the body. I've put a copy under OO invitation.
Invitation found with one's body.
Not mad at all, sir. It's a privilege to be a guest at Galley House. And if there's anything you need, sir, let me know.
Is this it, then?
Yes, sir. At the top of these steps is the entrance to the house. Please knock and Mr. Galley should answer the door.
Entrance bolded.
Entrance bolded. Person 11 hurries off and person 1 climbs the steps and then knocks. Let's see the invitation. My dear friend, I'm sorry to hear about you and Claire. I always thought you two seemed perfect for each other, but I've never been a good judge of these things, I suppose. Why don't you come down to Galley House this Saturday evening? I'm having a small gathering for my birthday, and you'd be more than welcome to stay the night with us. I could introduce you to my family. None of us have your talent, of course, but I have recently acquired something to keep you interested if you decide to come. It's not perfect, but sometimes when you close your eyes, it's like someone else is in the house. Probably fine.
And then immediately followed by...
I'll make sure to have it running by the time you arrive. Don't be fooled. There are no ghosts in Galley House. Rupert Galley.
There sure are now.
Is one Claire? Is that what the beginning?
One is...
Oh, about you and
yeah.
Claire. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Friends of the Galleys, they just keep making new euphemisms for being gay.
So true.
All right.
Even the Wiggles are in on it.
That's true.
We'll go to O2EN. In which the characters we have are 1, 6, 7, and 10.
Oh, okay.
So Juliet, you can keep being 1 if you want. Again, we can rename these guys later.
Sure.
All right, I see. Mm-hmm.
Are you catching on, Mac?
Yes, I'm catching on.
Uh-huh. Who wants to be 6, 7, and or 10? Actually, I can be 6.
I can be 10.
I'll be 7.
Cool.
And I'll be 1.
The door opens.
Oh, sorry, that's me. Who the hell
You're
are you? I'm sorry, I thought that was an at.
No, she sounds like the whiskey is catching up with her.
I'm sorry. Is Mr. Galley there?
He's somewhere. Ugh, I feel sick.
Excuse me.
Just wait here. I need... Oh god, where's Thornton? Thornton.
The door closes, there's a pause, and then it opens again. Hello? What do you want?
Hello, I'm looking for Mr. Galley.
That would be me.
Fantastic. I'm so sorry. My car got stuck in the mud just down on Quail Lane, so I'm a bit later than...
You haven't told me why you're here.
What? Why I'm here? I have... You sent me an invitation. I brought it with me. It's in 00 invitation.
You've got the wrong person. I've never seen you before in my life.
I swear, you're Rupert Galley, right? It seemed like you had something to show me.
Eddie, what's going on? Who's this?
I'm in the middle of talking to him, Vic.
Sorry, is there a Rupert Galley here? The invitation said...
There's a thud on the floor nearby.
What you devil? Where did that come from?
Ignore it. I've lived in Galley House all my life, and I've never heard of a Rupert Galley, so I'm afraid you've got the wrong place. Goodbye.
Wait, please.
Hold on. Typing notes. Eddie, look at that weather out there. You can't let him out in that.
Vic, we've enough guests as it is.
I am sure we could accommodate one more, couldn't we? Come inside, please, before your toes fall off.
Thank you so much. That's very kind.
Everyone else is in the living room. I'm sure someone here will know what's going on.
It looks like the doll broke in the fall.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Eddie.
Please try and calm your sister down, Vic, or she'll end up killing someone. The door
Wow.
closes. Let's see. I'm gonna sequence break and start naming these guys, because I think the command is literally just name number? Maybe? Yeah. And then...
7 is Vic.
I think if you just type name, yeah, it'll show you everybody.
We could name one flustered British businessman.
How long will they let you go, actually? Hold on.
Niels in chat said, rain, notorious for making someone's toes fall off. Presumably it's like winter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Presumably. It's also the 1930s,
So, okay, if we
I think.
Yeah.
Toes were
If we
falling
name
off
one of
left
these
and right.
characters like if we name 10 the murderer, is it like, aha, we solved it? We don't actually need to do that, but just,
Interesting. A bold strategy.
Alright, so we're now going into... So everyone else is in the living room. So let's go to 3LI145678
Oh, okay, so the initials are
Oh.
locations.
Oh.
LI
And
for living
the-
room, EN for entrance, QU for Quail Lane, I'm guessing.
And the numbers are who is in the scene.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
you're thinking with portals. So yeah, the base mechanic of this game is trying to figure out where characters are when. And just kind of like using the dialogue to deduce who is where at what time, because the number at the beginning is basically just like scene number.
Yeah.
And there are acts. There's Act 1, Act 2, I think 3 and 4. So we'll see how far we get. 4 more people enter the living room. Who wants to be 5?
I can be 5.
Hell yeah. I will be 9. And then I think we need an 8 question mark.
I was just gonna say I could pick up 4, but
Okay.
I can also be 8.
You can pick up 4.
Should I, with the number here, should I pick up someone in addition to 1, probably?
Yeah. Do you want to be 8?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
I'll be 1 and 8. Great.
4 more people enter the living room.
There you are. Is Eve with you?
No, we brought someone else though.
Hello. I'm dreadfully sorry. Is there somewhere to hang my coat?
Oh, I was 9. Who is this man? Apparently his car got stuck in the mud on Quail Lane. I told him he could stay here while the weather improves.
Is everything all right?
It's fine. I'll tell you later. He's brought a bottle of wine with him.
Note, I'd assume this is the same bottle that you can hear smash in the O4 scenes.
Possibly not, then. We'll see.
Scenes multiple.
Yeah, scenes multiple. Simultaneous events, maybe?
Well, I sure hope you weren't counting on our hospitality.
Well, actually, my name's John Hobbs. I actually received an invitation to come here from a man named Rupert Galley. Has anyone heard of him?
Note, if you dislike my numbering system, you can try typing name 1 something or just name to see which ones you've entered.
So you sequence broke, like, basically a step ahead of where you get told.
Yeah,
we could name 1 here, assuming he's using his actual name.
Flustered British businessman is really funny, though.
I wanted to have some names in there before we got to the scene that has like 8 characters.
Very fair.
There you are.
I swear I've... never mind.
No one lives here by that name, I'm afraid.
Then I'm ever so sorry. There's evidently been some sort of mistake.
Don't worry about it. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. Let me introduce you. This is Victoria, Helen, Tony, Eddie, and Damien. We're having a small gathering here this evening.
Did you have anything planned, Martha? Because we shouldn't really start until my daughter arrives.
5 is going to be Martha, since that's the only name not mentioned in her introduction.
Yeah.
True. Oh, there we go.
I get why it does it, but...
Yeah,
I think
but
you should
it
bring
does
it to the
scroll
top.
you to the top every time. I don't think she'll be coming anytime soon. Excuse me?
Does anyone know where Annie is?
She said she didn't want to come. I don't see why we all need to be here anyway. I'm sorry, who are you?
Actually, Martha, I might need to stay the night while the weather improves, if you wouldn't mind.
At least I was invited here.
I suppose we could accommodate one more. I'll show you to the spare bed in the study, Mr. Hobbs. And you'd best come with us too, Damien. We could do with a strong man to help set things up.
Oh, it's... Okay, 8 is Damien, and I'm also 8. Great. Of course, Martha.
We will not name Damien right now.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you, that sounds perfect.
Eddie, could you follow me to the billiard room, please? I'd like a private word. They all leave. I will
Okay,
So we
so-
can go back through the bit where Martha is calling out who is going to the study, because I believe O4 study, and then we can figure out who is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
it's-
Martha says John and Damien are going to the study, and we know that John is 1 and Damien is 8, then it would be 04 ST158.
1458, I think.
Is it, well... I don't think we know where 4 is going. We know 9 and Eddie, who is 6, are going to the billiard room.
Okay.
And then Martha, John, and Damien are going to the study. So that's 1, 5, and 8, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
Oh no, you're
Oh
fine.
Bloody devil.
Is he all right?
Juliet, I can pick up Damien for you so that it's not you twice.
If you don't mind, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll trade characters in another scene, yeah.
Yeah. He's not breathing.
There's the sound of a bottle smashing on the floor.
John drops the wine.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm lightheaded.
Have you checked for a pulse?
He's still warm, but he's definitely dead.
Under my roof. First a stranger turns up at the door, next another is found dead in the study, bolded.
You know this man?
I certainly do not. And I can't fathom how he could have entered the house without someone letting me know. Oh, I didn't get to read the rest of it. No, he's here.
No sign of physical injuries. Given his age, I'd say heart failure is most likely.
Well, it serves him right. Really, a strange man sneaking around our house. I wouldn't have believed it.
Let's not be rude to the dead. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation as to why he was here.
He wasn't carrying much. Just an old program for a piano recital. Has anyone heard of Amelia West?
Note, if you want to make a note of information, you can always use the note command.
Thanks for letting us know.
Oh, right, sorry.
Julia,
Not a
you're taking
composer.
notes. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a composer I've heard of.
Mr. Hobbs, you wouldn't have anything to do with it, would you?
No, I haven't a clue what's going on, I swear. But if I've arrived at a bad time, I'm sure I could find somewhere else to stay.
Nonsense, Mr. Hobbs. We'll sort this out. In the meantime, perhaps it would be wise to keep this between ourselves. Damien, darling, would you fetch Thornton, please? I'll go and call the police.
Certainly.
I'm awfully sorry about the bottle.
It's the least of my worries, John. What? Was that your name? Why don't you come through to the dining room with me? It should be empty. You'd best sit down before you collapse.
All three of them leave. So, alright, we have choices here. Do we want to try to follow John as far as we can? Or go back and just start trying to, open up all of the different, scene pathways that we know we have access to right now?
I think it's wiser to follow this as far as we can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that works for me.
So hypothetically, this is 05DI15?
Yes.
Hang on, I'm going to start taking physical notes about where people are.
That's probably a smart idea.
I'm genuinely
you
also
go.
sitting here going, the others never left the living room. And I wonder if anything happened there during
Oh.
Yeah, there were two people who I think didn't leave the living room, as far as we know, and then Eddie went with somebody to the billiards room to have a private conversation.
Yeah, because we know 5 names from the. Can you jump back to 3 really quick?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we know Victoria, Helen, Tony, Eddie, and Damien. Okay, so Vic is Victoria.
4 and 9 are as of yet unnamed, and we have 2 names of the list that Martha introduced that are not yet placed. So 1 of 4 and 9 is Helen, and the other one is Tony.
Yes.
And I don't think we'll find out until we get to 04, which I'm not saying that we go 04BI69. Right now, I think that I agree that we follow John as far as we can go.
We also have 10 and 11 who don't have names yet. Plus, there should be a 2 that we have. 2 and a 3 actually that we haven't
2 and
seen.
a 3. My guess is that one of those is going to be Annie.
Oh. Name 9 Neils for now, okay?
Great. Okay, here's a question. Can we name 26 us?
Invalid
Okay.
command, so
There's no 26.
we know that there are not 26 people in this game.
Hold
well,
on a
how high
second.
can we go?
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Can we go back to 26-EN-1?
Yes. I think it's...
This is so fun and ominous.
Why is it yellow?
Okay. I need a better document here.
And what do we think Ian might
Entrance.
and
Yes.
Entrance?
Yeah, because 2 also takes place at EN.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I want
That's
to
a
see
good point.
26-EN-1 because I want to see if that's John Hobbs talking.
Oh. Okay, so this is in Act 4, which I have surmised. No,
Oh, no,
this is
this
just
is
our little
all-
our note buddy describing what's going on.
Okay,
It's
glad
not,
out of
it's not
insight.
impossible that he's there and he's just not speaking.
True. Well, yeah,
Loud,
we know
thud, and then
he's
silent.
here. Yeah, because 1, he
Yeah.
has to be there.
Rip. Sorry, bud.
Granted, we were told at the beginning that everybody involved in this case died, and also it's
Oh,
been
I
like
mean-
several decades.
I mean, yeah. Alright.
Can I say, I'm so glad I'm not in the fiction right now.
It's true. All right, dining room time.
Take a big sip of water.
I'll also wait
Okay.
for everybody
Yeah,
to
let
stop
me-
taking notes.
Give me just 1 second. I'm noting where every character is in each scene that we know right now in a spreadsheet.
Perfect.
I think that makes a ton of sense.
So
I
scene
love
1.
a puzzle game that makes you take notes.
Yes.
That makes multiple people take different types of notes in different
Yeah.
places. That's the...
So in scene 1, characters 1 and 11 are on Quail Road. Scene 2, characters 1, 6, 7, and 10 are in the entryway.
Yes. I will say 10 specifically like sticks her head out the door and then like goes somewhere else, and we don't see her again. So she is somewhere during at least
Mhm.
3.
Okay. And then scene 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all in the library. And then
Living
what was
room.
the living room? Sorry, what was the consensus for scene 4? 1, 5, and 8 are in the study.
Yeah.
1, 5, 8 are in the study, 6 and 9 went to billiards.
And then we don't know where the other 2 went. They could have just stayed in the living room.
Okay. And then 5, dining room, 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, John, tell me why you're here.
I'm sorry. It's not quite what I was expecting. I received this invitation not long ago, and I thought it would make sense once I arrived here.
I see.
There's a pause as she presumably reads the invitation I mentioned earlier.
I don't like the tone of this. I'm afraid I've never heard of a Rupert Galley.
Could he be a distant relative?
He's unlikely to be. I wasn't born a Galley, I only took the surname for myself. Well, it would have been around the time I only took the surname for myself. Well, it would have been around the time I moved into this house, I suppose.
I was hoping you might be able to shed some light on why I'm here.
We were just having a small gathering here tonight. I think Eddie must have organized it. It's just for close friends and family, though. I don't know why we suddenly have strangers turning up.
Who else is here?
There are 10 of us in the house total, not counting whoever we found in the study. Oh, and Thornton, of course. That makes 11. He's our butler and our only member of our staff.
As far as I can tell, this is true. I've found no evidence of anyone else in the house.
What's that you're holding, John?
A smoking gun. Oh, no. I found it near the body. I thought it probably wasn't one of yours. I was thinking maybe someone else might recognize it.
It's the key to the chapel. I haven't been there in a long time.
Well, that's something to look into, I suppose.
Actually, John, could you go and take it to our butler? He'll be dealing with the mess in the study.
Oh, certainly. I think I met him earlier. I'll go there now.
All right.
Oh, thank you. And you're welcome to join us for dinner later on.
Okay, so Martha has a last name, which I'm going to...
Gal.
It's
Yeah.
Galley.
And 11 is
Mar-
Thornton.
Ah, yeah.
Is it 11 or is it 10?
11, because 11 was in that first scene, and
10 is a
there was-
woman, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, she...
But was 11... Are we sure that... Oh, okay, met him earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
right, yeah. And I think there's a bit of a pun that whoever was logging the case chose to do, because a character actually says, "Oh, and Thornton makes 11."
Mm-hmm.
Like, because a character refers to Thornton as the 11th. That's why they are. I think.
Okay,
We could even name Martha Galley 5 Martha Galley nay undiscovered. In case we want to do the full thing.
Who is 8? Damien?
8 is Damien, yes.
Oh, it's name 5. Okay, so John is going back to the study.
06 ST 111?
But there might be other people there.
Let's find out. Nope.
Okay.
Person 11 enters the room first and moves something heavy. Person 1 enters.
Good evening, sir. The room should be fit for you to stay in tonight. Just give me a moment to clear up this broken glass.
Right, I am sorry about that.
Not a problem, sir. Not at all.
It's dreadful, isn't it? Something strange is going on, and I'm worried they're all going to blame me for turning up at the wrong time.
Can't be helped, sir, and you're always welcome in Galley House.
There must be someone behind this. I mean, you haven't seen or heard anything suspicious, have you?
I spent most of my time in the kitchen, sir. That's where I've been since we last spoke. I heard the front door open and close, and then open and close again. I presume one of them was for you, but I don't know who else came in.
Did you see anyone else?
Yes, sir. After the front door closed for a second time, a guest arrived in the kitchen. She seemed rather inebriated, but nothing out of the ordinary. That has to be 10.
Yeah.
Scroll back up so that I can keep track of
Yeah.
where that was. After the front door closed for a second time.
So that was John coming in. Because we saw the front door open twice. It was the 10 opens the door and then, like, shuts it and leaves. And then Eddie and Victoria come and they open the door.
Okay, so at the same time as the 03 study scene, you have 10 and 11 in the kitchen.
Yes, that makes sense.
And then?
Around the time the bottle smashed, a second guest arrived in the kitchen. After he left, Mr. Maseko arrived as I was tending to the inebriated guest and informed me I was needed here.
Oh, that must be Damien. Because, he got like sent to tell Thornton to come and like clean up. Note, I've done my best to fact check claims people made about where they were and who they were with by tracking each person through the different scenes. If anyone lied, I'll let you know. For example, as far as I can tell, Person 11 is telling the truth about where he was and who he was with in the kitchen. You could check for yourself by viewing his scenes from 02 to 05. However, it's harder to fact check the rest of his claims below.
Oh,
Okay.
I'd almost
Hi,
forgotten.
Dad.
Here's a key I found earlier. Martha asked me to give it to you. Of course, if he's actually British, it'd be to give it to you.
Thank you, sir. It must have slipped out of Mr. Galley's pocket.
You don't mean Rupert Galley, do you?
Yes, sir. Poor Mr. Galley. He used to visit the chapel often, sir. A pious man as ever I've met one.
Well, he's a mysterious man, this Rupert Galley. At least someone here knows who he is. Could you show me to him?
I'm terribly sorry, sir. Did you not recognize him earlier?
You don't mean?
Yes, sir. I'm afraid to say he's passed away. You'd do best to give the key to Oswald if you see him. Now, I am sorry, sir, but I'd better be heading off now to the kitchen.
Wait, I need to ask you.
Person 11 leaves in a hurry. By the way, if you're wondering what that huge number next to the scene name in the file list is, see 00 references.
Let's go to 00 references. Why not?
Also, hi Paddington!
Hello.
Let me turn you up a little bit.
You may have noticed the green numbers to the left of the scene codes in your list of files.
Yeah, this is the thing I was talking about earlier. The little gray numbers denote how many references there are to other scenes you haven't discovered yet. A reference could be when people say they'll be somewhere later, for example, or when they reference an earlier scene. Or it could be a reference that I mentioned in one of my comments. Some of the references will be incomplete. You might need to cross-reference with other scenes. Sometimes exactly what scenes people are referring to won't be apparent until much later. It's worth noting that just because it says 0 doesn't mean that there still isn't useful information in there. There could still be important details. Also, there could still be references that I didn't pick up on. These numbers are honestly just kind of left over from a system I made when I was putting all the scenes together, but I'll leave them in for you in case you find them useful.
So, wait, what does 0 mean again?
0 means that there's probably not any more, like, references to scenes that we haven't found, but there's probably still important details that we should...
Oh, okay. So it's like how many branching things come off of this?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
like, for example, this one has 2, and it had 3, but we found the study.
Okay.
And so we know that there's 2 more, like, 04s that branch off of this scene. This one has 5 because it tells us basically, like, everywhere Thornton has been since the 01 scene.
The other thing that looking at this confirms for me, because a question I had is, would there be a, like, 00 kitchen scene with just 11 in it? And it looks like probably not, because 00 is, like, server level.
Yeah.
Stuff rather than actual scenes. But it would be wild if, like, and here's the butler in the kitchen on his own, and it solves the whole mystery. You just didn't think to look for the scene before 1.
Well,
My impression is that his first kitchen scene, I think it kind of sounded like he was alone.
So, do we... I guess...
We don't know where he went.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, do we know where John is going? Because we
No.
don't.
That's what I was saying, is that we don't know where he was going.
Yeah. So is John just going to be... Well, we know that Thornton's going to the kitchen. So I guess we could follow him for 07. Or we could just see if John stays here.
Should we go... part of me wants to go, if we're going to follow Thornton, to go back to 02.
I think that's a good idea. I am going to check and see if John is, like, stays here. Okay, so no. So he must go
Would it pop
somewhere
up?
else.
Would it pop up if you didn't have all of the characters?
Ah, no. So maybe he does stay here.
And we
then
just don't know
and we
who
don't know
else
who
is
else.
there.
Yeah. Paddington, since you're just joining us and Julieta's AFKing for a second, the premise of this game is that we are trying to follow. We're trying to unlock files in this computer system to basically follow these different numbered characters through an event that killed all of them and basically find out why that happened.
Interest.
So, like, a lot of these scenes will end with someone being like, and now let us go to the dining room. And so we put in 05 for the next scene, DI for dining room, and then the numbers of the characters who are going there. So we've been following number 1, who is our, like, agent who is, I think, the dead agent whose computer we're accessing. But now we don't really have a place to go with him, so we might start over with 11, who is the butler.
It is interesting to think about that, like, hypothetically, if one were inclined to do so, you could brute force a lot of things.
But it would take a long time.
Absurd to do if you were not, like, being paid a full-time salary to, write a program to do it.
When I was playing it at work, there was one that I was able to brute force, but it was only because I was like, okay, well, it's either like I know for sure like this one character is there and that it's like one of these 3 characters, so I just tried all of the options.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Can you go to the list of names, so just make sure that I have everyone?
Yeah. Wait. It's just name.
Okay. 6 is Eddie.
9 is not actually Niels.
Okay, my water's boiling, so I'll be right back again real quick.
Yeah.
Vic was Victoria?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in there. We also know that there is a Tony and there is a Helen, and we don't know which one is which yet. One of them is 4 and one of them is 9, and we don't know which one is which.
Okay. I have made a spreadsheet here.
Let's go. Oh, this is a good spreadsheet.
Thank you. So the top row is the scene numbers, and the left column are the characters, and then here is where each person is during which scene.
Wait, can you video ninja this? I'm gonna do a little picture-in-picture of this action on the stream. I'm gonna get rid of my my PNG tuber real quick so I can do this.
While we do the technical part of this, I'll share for my friends here on the call and in the audience. This is exactly as much scary things as I can handle. I went over and poured some hot water, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta turn all the lights on. Like
Oh no, Juliet!
Hang on. Move to a new window.
I should put my camera on just so that I if any creepy killers show up behind me, people warn me, just.
If you hear a sudden thunderclap outside and a smash of glass.
Yeah.
Okay, it is in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Browser.
I am glad that there's both like the name list command and the scene list that we can get to.
Yeah.
That does make it so I don't have to type every single, like, this one had 4, 5, 7, and 9.
All right, it is a little hard to see, but I think
I can see. Hang on.
But we have the picture-in-picture action happening.
Is that better?
Yeah, the color coding makes it pretty clear what's going on.
Yep.
What is this? This is the spreadsheet that Camilla is keeping of what characters are in what scene.
I can color code the characters too. Unless that would be more confusing, I'm not sure.
I think that would be less confusing.
Okay.
I can also just make it bigger. The game is truly not taking up that much of the screen. Can also crop this bad boy so that I can make it even bigger.
Anybody have any fun stream snacks while we are also doing some technical stuff?
I ate a single Rice Krispie treat before we went live because I didn't want to crunch on the mic, and then I just had some fruit snacks.
I made a big bowl of banana pudding earlier.
Wow.
That's gone now, but I have the leftover vanilla wafers and whipped cream, and that's my snack.
I have hot water and Twizzlers.
Ooh.
I have no snacks right now.
I have room temperature water, and I might get a couple of Milanos. They were on sale for half off.
I had homemade crab dip last night as my snack because we had crabs over the weekend for my mom's birthday and we got to keep all the leftovers, so now we just have a bunch of crab meat that we're trying to find uses for.
Nice.
All right. What were we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna follow Thornton, I think.
Yeah.
Because we more or less know where he was. Well, yeah, because we know he was in the kitchen the whole time. It's just there were people coming in and out of the kitchen.
So should we try... I mean, can people be in more than one scene in the same number?
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I don't think so. We also have Damien's
What do you
last
mean?
name.
So like the way 10 shows up briefly in that one scene, or like if somebody leaves in the middle of a scene, can they also be...
That's that's a good question.
Or do they basically not... Are the numbers... I don't have like an encyclopedic memory for each of the scenes. It might be that people say, I'm going to go, or follow me there, but they don't actually like leave.
Yeah, I
run
think
and go.
because these guys don't all leave till the end of the scene. And it specifically says they all leave.
Okay, they did leave. Okay.
Yeah. For 10, it just says the door closes, there's a pause, and then it opens again. So I guess let's try... And then if it doesn't work, let's try 10, 11? Oh, okay. There's the sound of water boiling. Someone enters from outside, and it sounds as if food is being prepared. The front door can faintly be heard open, then close, then open again. There's the sharp sound of a bell ringing.
Haven't heard that in a long time. Can't be good.
The front door can faintly be heard closing again. Okay. So... would it then be... 10? Is this really just showing off how bad I am at using my my desktop keyboard. Okay, someone enters. Who was 10? Oh, I was 10.
I was 10.
Oh, that's right. I can be 10 so
here.
you're not talking to yourself.
Yes.
Harry.
Good evening, Miss Dower. You're looking very fine in that dress, if you don't mind my saying.
Okay, hold on. I'm naming 10, so because we know now. I'm not in the mood, Harry. I need to sit down.
Oh dear. You're all right. Take it easy, Miss Dower.
Don't call me that. I've known you long enough, Harry.
Oh, that's it. Take a seat there. Now I am a bit busy with dinner, but I could make some hot cocoa if you would like.
I feel sick.
You'll be all right. What happened this time?
He doesn't love me.
Well, I'm sure that's not true. He loves you very much, and you know it as well as I do.
He thinks he loves me, but he doesn't really. I'm just someone to love.
He's lucky to have you, and don't let him forget it. He'll be coming looking for you anytime soon, I'm sure. Don't you worry about it.
Maybe I should run away. Would you come with me, Harry? Maybe to France or something like that. You know, and eat oysters and sit on the beach. Do they have oysters in France?
I wouldn't know, Miss Dower, but if you send me a postcard once you're there, then you can let me know, can't you?
I don't want to go on my own, Harry. Maybe Eddie will go with me.
I'm sure he would. He'd do anything for you, you know. Here's your hot cocoa.
Thanks, Harry. I still hate him, though.
Of course. Let me know if there's anything you need, Miss Dower, and I'll be happy to help.
By the way, if you want to keep track of what happens in each time code, try Title 03 something.
Oh.
I was hoping for something like that.
Okay, so Title 04, first body discovered. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the interesting thing is, can we title 04ST first body discovered, or is it titling the whole any scenes
I think
that
it
happen
titled,
during
yeah,
04?
I think it's the whole period of time.
And so we might be updating those titles more.
Yeah.
As we...
Juliet has written in our Discord chat, the story is not in France or very near France. Which is a good note. I think it's maybe intended to be in America, but who's to say?
Once
they
you've
all seem very
eliminated,
British.
They do seem very British.
once you've eliminated all of the things, whatever is left. Once you've eliminated all of the France, whatever is left is the rest of the world.
Okay, so 4 is gonna be... So 4 in the kitchen is gonna be probably these two still. Okay, wait, what did Thornton say? Around the time the bottle smashed, a second guest arrived in the kitchen. Okay, so it's gonna be those two plus someone else.
When did the bottle smash? Is that when the body was discovered?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
I'm actually
That's when John dropped the bottle of wine he was carrying.
Okay.
My guess is.
What's the command
So-
for that? Is it title?
Presumably, if there was an earlier bottle smash that we haven't seen, then the investigator wouldn't keep talking about there just being this one bottle smash.
Yeah.
So I think we can hopefully rule that out, but I suppose we'll find out.
There we go. Bottle smash Rupert found.
And what is happening in 3? The LI one. Is that not where the body was found?
No, the body was
No.
found in the study.
Yeah.
Okay.
The living room is just like John comes
Oh.
in and meets everybody.
Okay.
4 is they go to the study and they see that there's a body there.
Oh, the body was... Okay, I'm sorry. That was really dumb of me to not realize that the body was Rupert.
I mean,
Well, we
Thornton
didn't know
claims the
that
body is
until
Rupert. Yeah,
we didn't know that
But-
until here because nobody else
Mhm.
like seems to know who Rupert is except Thornton.
Well, yeah, but
did-
Thornton saying you've already seen him, I went,
Oh.
my brain did not connect the dots, is my point.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the narrator also was kind of like, can't verify the things Thornton says after this point, and then a little while after that,
Yeah.
Thornton goes, "Don't you know the body was?" And it's just like, well, that seems to be flagging something for us, maybe. Do we know? Um, do we know from the most recent thing when the chapel bell was heard? Was that? Is that something that happened during one?
That
No.
happens during 2. Because
Something
it
happened
said,
during 2?
yeah, a bell rings. And Thornton says, haven't heard that in a long time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So in case we want to also label 2 as like, hey, the bell rings,
That's,
just
yeah, that's
in case
good.
that.
Does it mention that in here?
Are there any numbers that we 2 and 3 are those the numbers that we haven't seen
Yeah,
as
we don't
as
know. Yeah, we don't
human
know where
beings?
2 is. We don't know where 3 is currently.
Can we try?
Hypothetically, they're. Mhm.
I was going to say, can we try O2CH23?
I was thinking the exact same thing. We are. Oh,
Can we brute force it to try 2 and 3 separately?
Yeah, I was about to.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Okay.
definitely worth trying. Though.
Yeah, no, that was worth a shot. So we know where Thornton went next. So he says around the time the bottle smashed, so that would be 04. It was him, 10, Miss Dyer, and then someone else came in, but he doesn't say who it is. A guest arrived. No, that's Miss Dyer. A second guest arrived in the kitchen after he left.
Okay.
So I wonder if Mr. Masako arriving happened just before we meet Thornton in the study? And it's what Julia was saying before about whether or not a character can be in a scene. If the scene splits, because, okay, we have scene 3 in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, so
So we need scene 4 and scene 5 in the kitchen?
Yes, I think Mr. Masako is Damien because yeah, I put that down because Martha says, Damien, would you fetch Thornton? So he goes to the kitchen, presumably. And then Thornton says, like, oh, Mr. Masako just came and got me.
So the 05 kitchen would be Damien and Thornton at least.
Yeah. So that's 8, 11. Well, do we think 10 is still there?
Maybe.
Yes, because he doesn't say that she left.
Oh,
at any point.
that's true. Okay.
So I will continue putting her in the kitchen.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so she's definitely also there for 4 then. And then we just need to figure out who the second person is that's in 4. Mac, you were reading Damien, right?
Yes. Thornton, is it?
Yes, sir. Forgive me. I don't think we've met.
Damien he cannot be this hesitant about pronouncing his own name, so I'm gonna commit. Damien Masako, something's happened upstairs. Martha asked me to let you know.
We heard the bottle smash from down here. Is everything all right?
It's worse than just a bottle. Someone's died. You should see for yourself.
What? Who's died?
I don't know. I didn't recognize him. How many people are in this house?
Well, let me see. You should recognize our 2 hosts, so it won't be either of them. Then there are 8 guests, including yourself and Miss Dower over there. And then there's myself, of course. You're sure he's dead?
As I thought, this is someone else.
Who is it? Who's dead?
You ought to go and look. It's up in the study.
Yes, of course, sir. I'll clear it up. Could you look after Miss Dower for me? If you take her over to Edmund's room, I think she'd probably ought to lie down. And make sure not to run into anyone else. Least of all, Edmund.
Oh, that's Eddie. Okay, that makes sense.
I'll do that now. All right, come on then. Let's get you up.
Who are you? You're very handsome.
I'm going to take you to your bed, if that's all right with you.
Eddie doesn't deserve me anyway.
I love her shout out, honestly.
Before we go somewhere, feel free to name, but before we go to a different scene, I'd like to scroll earlier into that scene to...
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, don't think we met. Something's happened upstairs. Heard the bottle smash. When he describes the number of people, when Thornton describes the 2 hosts and 8, you should recognize there are 2 hosts. Then there are 8 guests, including yourself and Miss Dower over there. And so it's like Damien should know the 8 guests. Is Thornton counting Rupert as one of the 2 hosts and assuming everyone knows him? Or is Thornton not counting Rupert as... This is kind of the question of, is Rupert one of the 11?
Interesting. Because Victoria and Eddie seem to think that they're the ones hosting the party.
Meanwhile, Martha is the actual galley, right? Who...
They might be her kids? I'm unclear on that. Because I think when John is like, is there a Mr. Galley? Eddie is like, yeah, that's me. In 2, I want to say. Yeah, hello, I'm looking for Mr. Galley. That would be me. So we know that he's a galley.
And then if we go just a little bit lower in that same scene, you would tell me over here, sent me an invitation. Okay. So does Edmund seem to recognize and he's never heard of a Rupert Galley. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I suppose that the scene now that we know, it goes, I've never heard of a Rupert Galley, so I'm afraid you've got the wrong place. In retrospect. Interesting. Yeah, so it does seem that Vic and Eddie are connected. Please try to calm your sister down, Vic, or she'll end up killing someone. So Victoria has a sister who isn't Edmund's sister, but Eddie and Miss Dower seem to be romantically.
Yeah.
I would assume the text is implying.
So wait, okay, so Eddie and Martha must be related somehow. We still don't have 2 or 3. Name 4. Just so we have 4 in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we try 06 ED 810?
Haha. 2 people enter and 1 collapses onto the bed. Okay,
Will you be alright by yourself?
I want my brother.
I think I saw him earlier. I'll tell him to find you. Don't let anyone else hear in the meantime, alright? Okay? There are strangers in the house.
I'll recognize his knock. You'll stay for a bit, won't you?
I think you ought to try and get some sleep.
I don't want to.
Oh, Vic told me about you.
Did she say nice things about me?
Yeah, of course. She said you have quite a charm about you. And she said Eddie is very lucky to have you.
You're making it up.
No, she respects you a lot, even if you don't seem to get on so well.
She's too good a person. I don't know why she's with you. You seem too quiet and serious.
Oh, I remember now. She said you could be quite honest sometimes.
Eddie still thinks about her. I can tell. He doesn't look at me the same way.
I'm sure that's not true. Where's your ring?
We had an argument earlier. I'd had too much to drink and I accidentally lost it. I hope he finds it. Note, you can track mentions of people or objects with the find command, e.g. find ring.
I'm sure he will. He cares about you.
She starts to quietly talk into her pillow, but I can't make out what she's saying.
I should go. I'll tell your brother you're here. Will you be all right on your own until then?
Again, I can't hear her reply, but he leaves anyway. Note, no one else enters or leaves during the next scene, but I've included a sleeping scene anyway. As you may have noticed, each living numbered person appears in exactly one scene per time code. Okay, there we go. This made it easier to keep track of things when I was putting all the scenes together. So we know that... Well, we know that the next one is just her in here, so that's an easy unlock. We also know that her and Eddie had an argument earlier, so if we could find where that happened, then that's probably a 01 scene, I would guess, because we know where she is during 02. Let me real quick.
What's the name of the character what's the name of the British guy? I've already forgotten his name.
John Hobbs.
John. Okay, so Miss Dower's brother is here, and he isn't Eddie, Damien, Harry, or John. And so if I actually put numbers to these things, can I... Eddie is 6?
So he's either one of the
Eddie's
two characters that we don't have names for, or he's Tony.
Yeah, is he Tony then?
He could be 2 or 3.
He could be 2 or 3. We don't know yet. We also know that there's an Annie who we don't have accounted for.
Amelia would be the piano player.
Yeah, Amelia's the piano player.
Yeah.
And there's an Oswald around somewhere as well.
Wow.
Well, that's 4. I believe that was 4 names for the 4 characters that we don't have yet.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't have 2, 3, 4, or 9. Because we have 9 listed as Neil's.
9 could be Tony, Oswald, Annie, and
Helen
What was
is the other name that we're missing.
Helen. Okay.
Okay, so this is just the one of her sleeping, I think. There's some gentle snoring. At one point, there's a thunderclap outside, but it doesn't seem to wake her. A short while later, there's a distinctive knock on the door. Come in. This may be a good time to remind you that if you haven't realized yet, you can type list X to see the scenes in Act X. See 00 Act Structure for more details.
Yo.
I've divided the chronology into 4 acts, which cover time codes 1 to 6, 7 to 13, 14 to 20, and 21 to 26. To quickly switch between acts, you can type list 2, for example. Personally, I've named them as follows. Act 1, Ignorance. Act 2, Confusion. Act 3, Terror. Act 4, The Reckoning. To change the name of an act, typed Act 1 something.
Oh my god.
Hang on. 14 to 20.
I like that this random, detective is like, sure, Act 4, The Reckoning. We can call it that. Oh, so let's just go to Act 2. Okay. So we could, I guess, try to brute force the kitchen one and just sequence it and try every single number.
We do have one more scene from the living room, right?
In the living room or stemming from the living room?
Stemming from the living
billiards?
room.
Maybe? I don't think we got the billiards.
Yeah, the scene in the billiards room.
Yeah, we have that. We know that there should, in theory, be an 01 with Miss Dower and Eddie arguing somewhere, but we don't know where. I mean, in theory, that we should have O1s with everybody. But yeah, we can do that billiards one. The Reckoning isn't actually that scary. Turns out the detective who set this up is Southern American, so it's the I reckon this is what's happening time period. Sorry, my wife just messaged me and told me that there are homemade crab cakes downstairs.
Phenomenal. Love that.
A, that sounds great. B, I'm imagining that version of the Reckoning being very like letter to my sister, sort of like, dear sister. So here's how I think this is going to go down. I'm going to be shot by Damien, but then Damien's going to be shot by Victoria. Eddie's going to walk in and be shot by Damien and Victoria.
God, I hope so.
What you say?
Dear sister, I reckon.
Well, I reckon.
Okay,
I conveniently
so
divide up the axe in our chart here.
hell yeah,
this was another thing. We are not planning on beating this tonight necessarily.
Probably not.
Okay, unless we become very fast.
Unless we enter a flow state of some sort.
This is
Ian,
also the
don't even read
dangers
the scenes
of
aloud.
this is also the dangers of reading the game aloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we discovered when we played Of the Devil episode 0, which is a demo that should take you about an hour to an hour and a half and took us 4 hours.
But I also do think this will be a fun one to come back to, so
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Okay, so Eddie and Nine, who we don't know the name of yet, go to the billiard room. Eddie is 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah. 69.
Nice.
Does somebody else want to be Eddie? Because I'm both of these people now.
I can be Eddie.
Let
me just.
Who plays Miss Dower?
Me.
Okay, cool. Just in case we'll get Eddie and Miss Dower stuff later.
I think we do, so that is a good, because we know that they are together in at least an O1 scene, so I imagine. I didn't want to make a scene of it, Eddie, but I don't expect you to lose track of my daughter and act so callous about it. Where is she?
I don't know. She ran off somewhere.
Bottle smash is somewhere else in the house. It's the same bottle that can be heard in most of the other O4 scenes. That's not good enough. Is she all right?
She's fine. We were in here earlier and she just had a little too much to drink.
Ah, okay, so they were in the billiards room during O1.
Okay.
My daughter's not a drunkard. What did you say to her?
I didn't... We just had a small argument. I think she was upset I've been busy trying to be a host, which really isn't my fault. So if you're wondering why she took it so badly, then you'll have to ask her yourself.
Take some responsibility for once. If she's upset, then it's up to you to go and make it up to her. Why haven't you found her yet?
Obviously, I would have gone and looked for her, but I got distracted by that weird man turning up at the door, and...
Edmund Galley, I didn't buy you an engagement ring for you to forget about my daughter. What is it? What are you looking for?
It's nothing. We lost the ring. But I know it's in here somewhere.
Excuse me?
I have it under control. She lost it just as there was a knock at the front door, and I haven't had a chance to look for it yet.
You'd better find it then, hadn't you? And then you'll tell her you're sorry and this will never happen again. Do you understand me?
Yes, Miss Dower.
Good. Don't ruin a perfectly happy engagement, Eddie. Okay, so 9. So 9 is Miss Dower's mom, which means she must be Martha?
No, Helen.
Helen, yeah. The other. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So we... So 4 has to be.
I'm guessing.
So 4 has to be Tony. Because that's the only person introduced in that scene who we don't have a name for yet.
I'm guessing if there was an actual argument and it wasn't about like a mysterious thing that we don't know about, it was Miss Dower not saying like, "Oh, you're too busy being a host," but like, "You're too busy hosting this party with your ex?" ? Which is, you know, I think if I was in a weird mid-century story, I might also object to that sort of thing.
I'm gonna just pop that in there. So if we know they argued in the billiards room, I think this should work. Yeah! Let's fucking go! There's a quiet sound of a piano playing in another room. Okay. The conversation starts halfway through. You'd actually listen to me for once.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I was looking forward to tonight. I thought maybe, since my whole family were coming, maybe you'd actually make an effort to pretend like you care about me in front of other people for once.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You should have told me it was your birthday too, and I would have bought a cake.
There's a thunderclap outside.
Darling, I'm sorry. Come back through to the living room.
What? So you can make another joke about me and then ignore me for the rest of the evening?
I'm not ignoring you, Eve. We just have other guests. Do you think I want to be talking to your damn brother all evening about his sad life? He told me he joined the army for fun. I mean, come on.
Leave Tony out of this. He's had problems, and that's not why I'm angry with you.
Eve, I'm sorry. Tell me what I've done. Oh, come on, Eve. Go easy on the whiskey.
Why? So I can look more dignified in front of your guests?
We're all just trying to have a nice time. Don't ruin it for everyone.
Oh, I'm sure you'd love to have a nice time with that posh girl.
Please, I've told you, I don't want to talk about...
I've seen the way you look at her. It's not fair to bring her here and pretend like I don't exist.
You don't get to tell me who I invite to my own house.
We're supposed to be engaged, Eddie. At least be honest with me and admit it. You still have feelings for her.
It's never enough with you, is it? I give you a ring, and all it does is make you more jealous than you were before. I don't know why I bother.
I can't do this. Something bounces off the wall and she leaves.
Eve, that's not what I mean. God damn it, where did it go? She'll kill me.
There's a knock at the front door. Okay, so we have name information. A lot of name information that we've gotten from this. Name 10 Eve Dower. So 4 must be Tony Dower. And we know a bunch of people must be in the living room during 01 then. Because he specifically says come back through to the living room. So I wonder if it's just like everybody except those two. So like 4.
I'm
so
sure
everyone who's
it's
in
just...
the living room. Sorry.
My thing's dumb, so you do yours first.
9?
I was going to say everyone who's in the living room in 3, excluding John, is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and then it can't be 6 because he's in this 01 scene. So
yes.
Ooh, okay. So maybe there's other people that we don't know yet.
It's possible that 2 or 3 are also there.
So I'm sure this is just a silly little joke or absolute coincidence, but we do have Victoria being described as posh, which is great for anyone up to date with Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice.
Oh my god.
Probably not the person showing up who died like 50 years ago in this weird story, but just in case.
Okay, so I think probably what is going on is some of these guys shouldn't be in the living room, but we don't know yet where they are. That's my guess.
Yes.
Because, wait, okay, so in 03, if we just get rid of, so it's 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and that doesn't work, which means there's either additional people and it's not 2 or 3, because I tried both of those, and then I tried 2 and 3, or some of them are not there yet.
Where was Damien?
I don't think we know where Damien is during 02. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it wouldn't be 6 and 7 because they're. Because they're answering.
What about 4, 5, 9?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
What about 3, 4, 5, 8, 9? What about 2, 4, 5, 8, 9? Okay, but we know where Eve goes. We basically have Eve's whole timeline, I think. Well, we don't know where she is during 4, but presumably she's in that kitchen scene that we haven't found yet, because she's in the kitchen in 5. Oh, but where does she go out?
Oh, wait.
Yeah?
Can we go back to the argument?
Yes.
Because he basically lists who is in the other room, I think. So Tony is there.
So Tony is there for sure.
Victoria is likely there.
Victoria's probably there. Because she says, "I'm sure you love to have a nice time with a posh girl. I've seen the way you look at her. You're supposed to be engaged, blah, blah, blah." Okay, well, maybe it's just
4 and 7.
Yeah. Nope. Okay.
Do you think I can safely put 4 and 7 in the living room?
Yes, I think that makes sense. I think they're definitely there. Someone has to be in the chapel in 02.
Yes.
Unless someone has really good aim with a sufficiently sized rock.
Trick shot simulator.
Now, hold on. I'm gonna do something that might tell us something.
Okay, so we know there's Trick Shot Simulator, and we know there's the retail simulator, and like the trading card game, and like the grocery store, and the ranch, and all of these. What I'd like to pitch for you today is Opera Ghost Simulator.
Oh
Holy shit.
Okay, so there's a 12, but there isn't a 13. So that tells us that there is at least one additional speaking person somewhere in this recording.
Have we tried the chapel with 12?
No. Let's do it. I guess that would be 02.
Or
so maybe, I don't know.
Can we just try 01 CH12 just in case?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So it's possible that 2 or 3 is with 12, but we don't need to necessarily try every permutation.
But what if 12 is in the kitchen? Because we still don't have the kitchen for 04. So that would be 10, 11, 12? No. Okay. But what if What about 2, 10, 11? What about 3, 10, 11?
What about...
Hey!
Oh. 3, 10, 11. Hang on.
Okay. Mac, do you want to read for 3?
Oh, I was
shall.
excited.
Oh,
I was
you,
excited.
Julie, you can read for 3.
Excusez-moi?
Good evening, sir. What brings you down here, then?
I'll tell you what. You bear a striking resemblance to the butler that used to work here when I... Oh, this is Rupert. Okay.
Are you
Excuse
sure?
me. When I was young, right? Maybe? I could be wrong.
It might be Oswald.
I'll tell you what. Oh, you bear a striking resemblance to the butler that used to work here when I was young. You don't happen to be related, do you? I'm trying to go old man without sounding like John.
That sounds like my father, sir. You knew him, did you? I must say it's an honor to follow in his footsteps.
There's the sound of a bottle smashing upstairs. What was that? Was that Eddie?
Yes, I thought you looked familiar. But I just came here for the key to the chapel. Oh, this is Oswald. I imagine you have it?
I'm afraid I don't, sir.
What do you mean? Where is it?
I'm not sure, sir. How about I have a look after dinner, and I'll let you know once I find it.
I remember this house being a lot more organized. We had a lot more staff back then as well. Very good quality staff. I didn't used to have to cause such a commotion just to get a key.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'll find it as soon as I am able.
Tell him what you told me, Harry, about the chapel.
I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Dower. I don't know of any stories, and if I did, I wouldn't be repeating them.
Oh, what's this? Your father must have told you something, no doubt.
Well, sir, I suppose I did hear about a few things.
He was the one to bury her there, was he not?
Oh.
He was, sir. That he was.
His dad was the one that found the body. Could you imagine?
Miss Dower.
You do well not to speak of such matters in this house, young lady.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. You'd be kind to forgive her. It's all been a little unusual this evening.
Whatever it is, I'd rather stay out of it. I'll have my dinner once everyone else has left the dining room. Understood?
Of course, sir. I apologize about the key.
Well, it's not your fault. I don't trust the owners of this house to know what to do with it.
I'm sure I've just misplaced it, sir. And if you'll forgive me for saying it, I think she's happy to see you back, sir.
Am I?
What nonsense are you talking about?
I don't mean anything by it, sir. I just heard something earlier. Like maybe she's still in the house with us. I just thought you should know, sir. But forgive me if I've overstepped.
Watch your mouth. You'll find that key, bring it to me, and then neither of you will mention this again.
Of course, sir.
Good.
Okay, so 3 must be Oswald.
Oswald the bastard.
Which means 2 is Annie.
Ah, or 12.
Or 12.
But I think we can make an educated guess, I think.
Yeah. 12 seems to be a wild card.
Yeah.
Can you name 13?
It won't let me name 13.
Okay. So there is a secret 12th.
Yeah, so there is a 12th person who has speaking lines at some point. Okay, interesting. So So we know Oswald is going to the dining room at some point. He says when everyone leaves. So would that be in 05 or 06? Well, no, it would have to be 06 because there's people in the dining room in 05. So is he there alone in 6? No.
No.
Wait, where did the... Where did the people in the billiards room go?
Do we know yet when people eat dinner? Because then we can be like Oswald and Thornton there in the dining room after that.
I don't think we know, but we know where Thornton is now during every scene in Act 1. He's on the road with John, and then he stays in the kitchen from 2 through 5, and then he goes to the study.
Yes, we've completely tracked John, Eve, and Harry.
And then he goes back to the kitchen, which we haven't seen, I don't think. There's quite a lot of noise and walking around. You could faintly hear the voices from upstairs.
Well, I never. He's really dead.
Then there's a thunderclap, followed immediately by the sound of dishes shattering on the floor and something heavy falling over. This is followed by silence. Welcome to the confusion of Act 2. Thanks.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate that.
Is that a great note to leave off on?
It very well could be, because we've only seen this much of Act 2. We've seen Eve asleep, and we've seen this scene. So I wonder if everyone ends up split up by the end of Act 1. Because the first kitchen.
And so then Act 2 is individuals like bumping into each other in different ways as they've split up, and then they're reparticulating.
Okay, so
When you have a second, can you search find key?
So the key, I think, first comes up because they find it on Rupert's body.
John finds it and doesn't mention it, I think, until he's with Thornton. Or John claims to...
Yeah, he says he found it near the body.
Okay.
And then Martha says it's the key to the chapel. I haven't been there in a long time.
Or John had it from earlier and was using it for stuff in the chapel and is lying about things.
But we have seen everywhere.
Yeah, we have seen everywhere John goes, though. So
unless there is a scene 0, which I don't think there is, because 0 is for reference stuff.
Yeah.
Or unless there's stuff that happens before the scenes that is relevant to us somehow. I don't know.
I wonder if 12 is just Rupert and there's like an 01 with him somewhere that we are going to have to find.
He would hypothetically be in the study dying? Could we try just him in the study alone? Or do we know if anyone in the study in 01, I mean?
Oh! Ho-ho! The piano is playing in the background. He's muttering to himself. Amelia. Yes, Amelia. It's been so long since I heard her play. I knew I recognized that piece from somewhere. How could I have forgotten? It's like she disappeared one day and nobody noticed she was missing. This is sinister. I must ask my brother if he remembers. There's a thunderclap outside, the sound of a body falling to the floor, and then silence. See OO audio recovery for more details. I hope you're not too disappointed. I know it's not the true index case we wanted, but I think we can learn a lot for the rest of the case.
Oh, I thought that was...
Ban Evader in chat. Hold on.
I've got their ass.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought, while you're doing that, I thought that last comment was back in character of 12 saying, oh, like to Amelia. I hope you're not too disappointed. I know it's not the true index case that I was like, what does that mean?
Okay, so 12 has got to be Rupert then.
Unless he's another guy who's relevant and Thornton is lying.
What is OO audio recovery?
Yeah.
Modern technology has allowed us to recover the most recent audio heard before death by a dead body. Okay.
What?
This tends to be a period of just a minute or two leading up to the death itself. Shortly after the moment of death, the recovered audio goes silent. It's worth noting that this can sometimes be up to 30 seconds or so after the perceived moment of death. However, in this specific case, by comparing distinctive audio patterns from various sources, they've been able to extend the audio recovery from each of the 12 victims found in and around the house to about the same point in time, a minute or so before the first death. It's quite an expensive procedure to do. Exactly how it works is well beyond my understanding. We are lucky that in this case, they chose to preserve all of the bodies. Fortunately, there were no objections from family members. Edit. I managed to convince them to recover the audio from one more body on top of the additional 12. Okay. I have a theory I want to test, although it's a shame this one won't fit into my body numbering system. They were only about to recover about a minute from the body. It's more than enough. Oh, the system. Are they named in like the backwards order of how they died? Because we have the 26 with 1, so we know that John makes it all the way to the end.
Oh.
I'm going to go and add dead to the location for Rupert.
Have we done O2 study 12? Potentially for the recording of the death? No. Okay, and I assume we've tried O3 study 12. So it's possible that somebody else came into the study.
Yeah, it's possible that somebody else found the body first.
Because there's nothing about
I think we can also confirm at this point that once someone is dead, even if their body is in a scene, their number no longer counts.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing about the 26 EN1. There's no notation that's like, this is an audio recording of the body or whatever, right? Like that's just like, hey, it's numbered like every other scene is.
Yeah. There's a loud thud and then silence. The audio keeps going for an upsettingly long time. Oh, I guess upsettingly long because like he would still be alive for that part. I imagine, because we know that it stops when they die.
No more footsteps, no more whispers, no more dramatic weather events.
And where? This is at the entrance? John is?
Yeah, EN is the entrance.
Okay.
So I think it's easy to assume that John doesn't fit the pattern. But I think the implication here is that it's not John that doesn't fit the pattern. John has been invited to fit the pattern. And that it's somebody else who doesn't fit the pattern. It'd be wild if it's Rupert that doesn't fit the pattern. That would be wild. But
that would be wild.
I'm going to suggest that it's possible.
Well, we know whoever doesn't fit the pattern has a different, like, naming scheme or, like, numbering scheme somehow.
Maybe?
Because it says,
maybe like, hey.
Yeah, it says this one won't fit into my body. One more body on top of the original 12. This one won't fit into my body numbering system. I presume because maybe they died after John, and so there's no like number that they could be.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they can't go into the negatives.
Unless
maybe 0.
Ooh.
Can we try naming 0? -1?
No.
The integer set? Okay.
And we know there's no 13.
Can we try naming at?
Oh.
Because I...
Oh!
That's who I think I think the agent themselves is saying, I've convinced them to like do this for one more person, and whoever that is, who the agent is like, hey, I'm going to die. You need to do this weird recall
Yeah, I was
operation
gonna
on
say
me
I
after I'm
didn't think
dead.
that John Hobbs was the agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're hold on, they're two separate people because I think the agent is Alan Thomas who wrote oh no, because our agent was using the time of his
Alan
death.
Thomas
Yeah.
is like that guy's manager.
Yeah, Alan Thomas is like the manager of
Or our manager, I suppose. Hard to say. This is so spooky. Also, did the music stop at some point?
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot that this is
Which is-
only an hour
It was
long playlist.
it was only an hour
It's
loop.
totally fine. That is totally fine. I'm just like, why do I feel like more on edge than it's like, oh, right. It's because I'm in
You don't have
ominous
to-
silence, and I
And have
am.
the sweet sounds of Nancy Drew Danger by Design in your ear.
So I
I
wonder
am,
if okay.
scared.
I am convinced by the theory that somebody has to have come into the study prior to this happening.
I think two went into the study.
But either during 2 or 3. And then we know that it wouldn't count 12 because after he dies, because he's not
Wait,
counted
sorry,
in here.
Is 0112? Are we sure that he dies in 01?
Yeah, there's a thunderclap, the sound of a body falling to the floor, and then
Oh.
silence.
Gotcha.
And we know that his number like stops mattering because he's not listed in the other study scene, even though he's present as a body. So
It's gonna be
whoever,
wild if
so if anybody found him alone, it would be just their number. And I tried 2
Right.
and 3 in the study, and I didn't get hits for either of them.
So we also don't know where 4, 5, 8, and 9 were.
Oh, true.
it's going to be wild if Edmund actually does know Rupert, and his being like, what the heck are you talking about, to John is the fact that John just showed up in the middle of like a fight in the middle of an important party. Like when they just lost the wedding ring and like all of these things. It's just like, what no who what are you talking about? Isn't I don't know Rupert Galley, but I mean that wouldn't make sense because like Martha doesn't know Rupert Galley or whatever, but
Pizza time.
yeah, it is that genuinely makes me feel better. Like a little pizza time in there, I think helps cut
Hey.
the tension that I'm feeling.
Hey.
Yeah?
pizza time.
Hi Riley.
Hi, Riley.
Pizza time.
Hello.
We're solving a mystery.
Who do you think did it? There's 13 numbers.
13 numbers, 7.
7?
Funny answer.
Victoria. Ooh, okay.
Do I win?
Yeah.
As they say in Arcadia, we must work our way outward from the middle of the maze.
Riley, this game is on some Oprah Din shit.
I'm listening.
We just learned that all of the audio logs we've been going through is because they have the technology to scrape audio logs off of dead bodies.
Fucking
And so it's
awesome.
all recordings that they've taken from the 12 people who died mysteriously inside this house.
And it's all text transcripts of audio recordings of dead body stuff of conversations that happened while they were alive. So we
Yeah,
don't.
that's awesome.
And there's also
We
a
don't-
mysterious 13th body that we don't have a name or number for.
Interesting.
Forgive me if I don't add 13 to the spreadsheet here.
Yeah, we also have picture in picture going on the stream because Camilla has a spreadsheet.
Hell yeah. Hey, listen. I'm just over here making the Last Supper and Gary's mod, so I
Uh-huh. Is that presumably this is for a Survivor challenge?
Yeah. It's games or art, but I don't want to distract from the mystery.
Yeah. No, I mean, I honestly though, this does have quite a bit in common, right?
I'm ready.
Like the Last Supper is also like a group of 12 plus another one who doesn't fit into the numbering system, right?
Technically, here I've posted my little art and my artist statement in the Twitch chat if you'd like to care, but I go on stream, so it's not important.
The image, we've got the text description for the images still. Oh, okay. Undu Twakat Sank. It's a Bugs Bunny.
That is Bugs. The artist statement will explain why Bugs is there.
7, Bugs.
8, 9, 10, 11. Is the tank the 12th? And then
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's Sheila. That's a character you would know if you watch Red versus Blue, which you didn't, which is fine.
Sure. Yeah. I've always been meaning to watch.
You don't have to.
Before, I think this was before coming up with I'll Be Pod for Castmas. I don't know. Eventually, you may very well see a podcast coming from me or the network or who knows, whatever, called Crossing the Rubicon.
Oh, I can't believe you came up with our next podcast idea, you and me.
Oh my god.
And the bit is that the episodes are extremely short.
That's a good bit.
Like under 2 minutes, including the intro and outro.
Okay, when
maybe they get longer as they go.
When the fuck do they eat dinner? I'm trying to figure out the dining room situation. Cause
also a pressing question in the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, people talk about whether or not it's like Passover or not. It's like people always assume it is, but it isn't, and
because Martha and John go into the dining room. She sends.
Oh, and there's also a Martha and a John.
She sends John to take the key to Thornton, and then there's
Oswald, the lucky disciple, I think, who's really mean about the missing key.
And then she stays in the dining room. But Oswald goes there at some point, and she's not.
Is she alone in the dining room then? Maybe.
No. So she either goes somewhere else or somebody comes in. So when the fuck does Oswald go to the dining room? Because he has to at some point. Because we have one clue left in this scene, and I assume it's that Oswald says, like, I'm gonna go to the dining room after everybody's gone, bring me my dinner.
Could it be 06 or 07? Like, could this be beginning of Act 2? Oswald is sitting down to eat while everything else is going on?
Well, that's why I think it has to be 06 because Martha and John are in there during 05. So it's got to be after that. Okay. So
okay. But
is it just him? No.
But if it needs Thornton to be bringing stuff, I mean, it could be just him in 06, but it could be 07, DI.
It can't be 07 because Thornton is in the kitchen.
Yeah, Thornton is in the kitchen and then presumably dies, ? Because we know that he's the next person to die.
Oh, true.
Oh, because he's the next number. Because he's... Oh, that's so funny because everybody including himself, keeps describing himself as the 11th. That's a weird coincidence. Like he describes, our 2 hosts, our 8 guests, including you, and of course myself, and like indicates himself in that 11th position.
So, where does Damien go after this scene?
After 6?
Good question.
Oh, he goes to tell Tony.
I'll tell your brother you're here. We'd be all right on your own until then.
Yeah, because we know that Eve is by herself during the next scene. So he So Damien goes to find Tony, and we don't know where Tony is after this big living room scene.
Is he still chilling in the living room? Because he was there in scene 1.
That's true.
Or
You
we
know where
presume
basically everybody is during 04 right now, except for
Oswald and Annie.
Yeah, so 4-7? No, okay, so somebody else is there with them, or they split up.
An unfortunate thing about the limits of alphanumeric, characters in our computation and everything is I keep looking at living room.
Yeah, the library.
Or library, and also thinking 51. Like, oh, it's 51. 04, 51, 247. Because, 4 is already, there's 4 and there's 04, and those are 2 different things.
Okay, so nobody is in the living room during 4? That feels wrong.
Possibly. So, in scene 4, we know that John, Martha, and Damien are in the study. Oswald, Eve, and Harry are in the kitchen. Edmund and Helen are in the billiards room.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
We don't know where Annie, Tony, or Victoria are.
I was just popping into the room to say hello, so you guys enjoy your mystery, my friend.
Riley, can you say one more funny thing to cut the tension?
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll do
hold
it.
on. Give me a second. Fucking.
There we go. There we
Love
go.
it. Okay. Bye, Riley. Thanks for joining us.
Now recording.
We to whoever asked, yeah, we have seen that billiards scene. It's over here.
Great.
It's the one where Helen is like, "Where's my daughter?" And Edmund's like, "I'll go look for her, and I'll go look for the ring."
Right.
Oh, okay. So he's like, "I haven't had a chance to look for the ring." She says, "You better find it," and then we don't know where either of them goes. So maybe
he stays in the billiards room to look for it.
Yeah.
What room was the ring lost in?
Billiards room. So.
Okay. Nice.
So maybe okay, so he's not there alone. So neither of them stay there alone, and they don't stay there together.
It's gonna be
Could
wild if there
Annie
is
have
another
joined?
servant, and Thornton is just really rude about not giving them credit for also supporting the household.
I'm just looking at stuff that says it has another clue on it. 3, 10, 11. Okay, that's the Oswald one, where he's like, I'm gonna go to the dining room after everybody eats. So we need to figure out when they eat dinner, I guess, because we don't have that as a scene. So I'd guess it's in a later act. But we know that after that happens, Oswald will be in the dining room.
I mean, let's just try 7, 8, 9 dining room for Oswald.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a classic murder story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not 7. Yeah, but we know that he's
It's horrible what 7 did to 9.
Yeah.
We know he's the third to last to die, so.
I think we are right about our numbering murder convention, but until we get a second body,
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna
fair.
be fully convinced, because there could be another numbering convention that we're not realizing or don't have the evidence.
What do we have over here? Gentle snoring. Okay, so somebody knocks on her door.
A distinctive knock.
We know that Damien went to get her brother, so maybe that's
it might be Tony.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. Oh wait. Okay. She's just asleep.
Yeah, I forget who Tony was. It's been so
Tony's her
long.
brother.
No,
He
I
joined
forget who
the
was reading
army.
for Tony.
Oh.
Oh,
It's been so long since we knew where Tony was.
It might have been me?
You want to be Tony?
Sure. Eve, where the hell have you been?
I was asleep.
I could tell. Listen, something weird is going on.
Oh, did someone die?
Were you involved?
Weird question to ask just off the rip. Tony, just tell me what happened.
I need you to hold on to something for me, Eve. Don't tell anyone else about it.
Where did you get it? It looks really valuable, Tony.
Look, I'll explain the rest later. It's just a stranger turned up earlier, and I think he's looking for this. So just hide it, okay?
Tony, you didn't steal it, did you?
I'll explain later. He's currently talking to Eddie in the kitchen, so I should have a bit of time.
You mean Oswald? I told you about him, didn't I? Funny mustache, dresses like it's the 1700s.
No, this is someone else. He said his name was John Nobbs. But I think Oswald is up to something too. He and Annie were talking in the attic while the rest of us had gathered in the living room, and now Annie's trying to... I'll explain later.
Okay.
thank you.
Wait, who's Annie?
She went to your school, remember? I think she got into a fight with one of the boys once. It doesn't matter. Just hide it, will ya?
Okay, fine, but promise me you'll stay out of trouble?
I'll be back in a moment. I just need to grab something important, but I won't be long. Don't let any strangers in.
The door slammed shut behind him. He never returned to this room.
Normal
Oh,
thing to
that's-
say.
That's good to know.
Normal note to make.
Okay.
Oh, this is 08, so we are. Is this our deepest thing forward so far? Is it
Yeah.
26?
So we know that
Okay.
so we know concurrently John and Eddie are in the kitchen. And then Oswald
At
and
8 or at 7?
yeah, at 8 I think, because we have the kitchen for 7. And then Oswald and Annie go up to the attic in 03. Okay, interesting. So I guess we should unlock both of those.
So in 8, it's Eve and Tony in the bedroom.
Yeah, in Eddie's bedroom.
Okay, and John and Eddie are in the kitchen.
Yes, because I just unlocked that. So they are for sure in the kitchen with nobody else.
Okay.
So I believe that means Thornton has died.
Nice.
Rip. Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah. That.
Oh no.
Oh, bloody hell, what a mess.
I should warn you, I'm not great with these sort of things.
Help me move it outside.
Something heavy is moved. It's a short while before they talk again.
Do you know who he was?
We had the key to the pantry on him, so I assume he's the one that cooked us our dinner.
You're not familiar with your own staff.
It's never really concerned me. I think Martha deals with those sorts of things.
You mean your mum?
Listen to me, you're going to explain what you're doing here, who this Rupert Galley is, and why we've just found a second body.
I swear, I've told you everything. As far as I know, I've been invited here for some unknown reason by a man that died before I could ask him why.
How did you know Rupert Galley? Why was he here?
I have no idea. Sorry, I have no idea. I don't know who he was.
Then how did you recognize him?
I just... Ooh, that's a lie. That's a big lie, right?
I think so.
I just... I knew it was him.
I don't know what game you're playing, but if this involves any one of my guests here tonight, then you need to tell me. One member of staff has already been caught up in it.
Do you think that deaths were related? I thought maybe the thunder gave them a fright. They both seemed quite old.
Do you take me as a fool? 2 strangers in my house and one of them dies? I can tell something's going on here. I just need your assurance that it won't affect anyone else.
How could I have something to do with this? I was there at the dining room table with everyone else. If someone is behind this, then it's someone already in the house. If they've brought me here for a reason, then I could be in danger.
Calm down. There were 2 people missing from dinner. One of them, well, she's out of the picture, but the other one, Oswald. I'll admit, I don't know much about him.
Who is he?
Well, I don't know who my father is, okay? Mamma mia.
Start there.
I've never really spoken to Mom about it or given it much thought. But Oswald has always been there in the background as my uncle. Not that he's been to this house for a very long time.
Then perhaps he knows something about Rupert Galley. That's the best lead we have at the moment.
He must have waited for all of us to leave before he eats. I'm sure you could find him in the dining room.
Thanks. Don't you want to talk to him too?
No. I have something else to take care of.
Person 6 waits for person 1 to leave, then there's the sound of something being poured, then person 6 leaves. Okay, so dinner is during 7. That's interesting. So dinner, everybody is there except Oswald and I assume Annie?
Or
And
wait, no.
I mean, we know that Eve is
already...
Yeah, we know that Eve is also not there.
Hmm.
And so is it possible that Annie is there and
2, 4, 5.
Eve Dower is the one that is missing? Because
Mhm.
didn't he say, the only 2 people who weren't there were Oswald and someone who I'm like, and Eddie doesn't suspect his fiance because she's already too drunk to do anything. And so I think
Ooh. So
So 2,
1, 2, 4,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So Annie is there.
Okay,
And
so
this
there's 8 people in the scene, so we all played 2.
Yeah. I can take Eddie back from whoever was playing Eddie.
I was okay being Eddie. One of my characters died.
Oh, that's right.
We also have Paddington here. If they want to play a...
That's true. Paddington.
I am unfortunately otherwise
No problem.
occupied.
Great.
You're so fine.
Then I will take Annie alongside John Hobbs. I'll be playing 1 and 2.
Whoa.
'Cause I don't think Annie showed up yet, right?
Yeah, she hasn't.
I will keep Tony and Victoria.
I will be Helen and Edmund.
I think I was Martha, Agent,
Damien?
and then I could grab Damien, yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, I had 3 characters, LMFAO.
It's fine, I can grab Damien. Please come in and take a seat. Dinner will be up in a moment.
It wasn't him that you saw, was it?
Oh, no. Well, I didn't catch a good look. Does it matter where we sit?
Some more people enter. Damien. You wouldn't help me with the dishes from the dumbwaiter, would you?
Still no sign of my daughter.
I believe she's asleep, Miss Dower. Careful, it's hot.
You'll have to remind me of your name, I'm afraid.
John Hobbs. I hope you don't mind me eating with you. I very much appreciate...
Eddie, I told Mr. Hobbs he could eat with us.
And sorry about earlier. Are we all good?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's up with you 2?
Could you please pass me the wine, Eddie? Of course. How are you liking the house, Miss Dower? I hope this evening hasn't been too chaotic for you. Oh, you know very well how my evening's been, Eddie. But I hope we can put all this chaos behind us.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I beg your pardon. I don't seem to understand why you're joining us this evening.
Well, To tell you the truth, there's been an interesting development.
Mr. Hobbs, let's keep the discussion at the dinner table civil, shall we?
I'm interested in what the gentleman has to say.
Oh, it's nothing, really.
I don't want to be the one to have to announce the news, but I think it needs saying. Someone was found to have passed away peacefully in the study earlier. It's no one that any of you would know, and it's being dealt with discreetly. Well, not anymore, it isn't.
Mum, who was it?
Oh my god, I think I saw him earlier.
Wait, it can't be Oswald. I saw him a moment ago.
It wasn't Oswald. Whoever this man was, I did recognize him.
Gosh, that's awful.
Why didn't you say? If someone in the house is found dead shortly after a complete stranger turns up at the door.
I can assure you, Helen, I've been with John since he arrived, and he has nothing to do with this. And I'd prefer it if you didn't attempt to implicate our guests.
Wait, how did he get in? I don't understand what he was doing here.
I happen to have discovered that the man we found dead and the man that invited me here are one and the same. Mr. Rupert Galley? Now that's as much as I...
Who the hell is Rupert Galley?
There's a loud thunderclap followed by a crash of plates to the kitchen below. The room falls silent.
I'll go have a look.
Well, as I was saying...
Come with me. We need to have a talk.
I really ought to go and find Oswald. His dinner is getting cold. The three of them leave.
Tony?
Now I need to go and get something.
Oh, your sister asked for you. She's in Eddie's room.
Tony? Please.
Annie, it's fine. It's under control.
He leaves as well. The rest stay on for the next scene. This was getting long enough already, so I'm splitting it here. Okay, so 8 is...
So everyone who didn't leave...
So, Tony leaves. Martha leaves to find Oswald. And then John
and Edmund. And that explains why they were both together. Because it felt like John was just in the kitchen with the dead body.
Yeah.
Also, I have a theory about what's going on. I think that when you are killed by this ghost or whatever, it erases all memory of you.
Oh.
Which is why nobody seems to remember Rupert, except, I guess, for Thornton who immediately dies after, and then the people who go and see Thornton, including John, who has seen Thornton already and has heard his name before, don't know who Thornton is.
Ooh, fascinating.
Except for then... Oh, so that explains why John is like, I felt like I knew... I still feel like John is maybe lying about some things.
Yeah.
Because of the, like, I felt like I just knew him rather than saying Thornton told me. I also do really appreciate in the Eddie John scene when they're like hauling Thornton's body out, how very clearly Eddie's like, I don't know, like what's his name? Tom from The Great Gatsby? Like,
yeah,
that's who I've been emulating.
Yeah, evil rich man who's like, listen, you might be a weird serial killer. As long as you're only killing strangers or members of the staff, like, and the help, just tell me, are you going to kill any of my guests? Any of the rich people who I care about? Anyways, I just think that's a fascinating
really
piece of characterization.
After this scene, can we go check out scene 3 with Annie and Oswald in the attic?
Yes, I was gonna save that to be like the last thing that we do because I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of shit in there.
Great.
Max, that's you.
The song is from Waverly Academy.
Ah.
Annie, what's going on?
Nothing. I swear. I just heard that name before.
Who is
Oh,
Helen?
that's
Oh,
me!
you.
I appreciate the honesty earlier. Too many people nowadays seem to favor politeness over giving a straight answer.
That's quite all right, Miss Dower.
Do you know anything about what happened?
She saw someone steal something from my bedroom, isn't that right, dear?
Yes, I don't know who it was.
This is a lie.
Oh.
Oh, that's me.
Damien.
What's been stolen?
A pocket watch of mine. I haven't even had it long.
Oh, I wonder if that's what Tony has in that scene with
Oh, I'm so sorry if I've accidentally let a thief into the house. Gosh, you don't think this is related to...
I checked the dead man myself. There's no reason to think the death was suspicious. I'm sure that there's a simple explanation behind why he was here.
Could I ask you to keep an eye out for my watch? It would mean a lot to me if you could return it.
I think the two of us would rather stay out of all this trouble.
Of course, Miss Dower. I think I might know who to talk to. Annie, would you like to have a word with me in Vic's room?
Sweetheart, you know it's not her fault.
Vic, it's fine. I'll go and talk to Damien. It's not like I've done anything anyway.
There's a series of crashes from the ceiling above.
You two be nice to each other then. I'll go and check that everything's okay upstairs.
If you need me, Vic, play the piano in the living room and I'll come and find you there. If they wanted to talk privately, they shouldn't have chosen the living room. They should have expected that a third person would end up joining them. I don't know why they think they can complain about it later. All four of them leave anyway.
It's really funny.
Okay, so we know... So Damien and Victoria go to the living room for 9, and then are joined by a third person. Which I assume the agent wants us to know here so that we can process
Has
of
someone else
elimination.
written that down?
I assume it's going in the spreadsheet.
Okay, great.
I
also
put Victoria and Damien in the spreadsheet. I didn't put anyone else.
I can make 09 living room. There you go.
Nice.
There was something else in that scene I wanted to make a note of.
Some folks are going to Vic's room.
Oh yeah.
Annie and Damien. I think 2 and 8 are in Vic's room.
Note.
No, Damien's in the living room.
It's Annie and...
Yeah.
No, it is
Oh,
Damien.
I'm sorry. I did right. Who was going to the living room then? 7 and who?
Oh, it's, he says, if you need me, Vic, play the piano in the living room and I'll come and find you there. And the agent says
so
that
eventually, when Vic and Damien are rejoin each other in the living room, a third person shows up. So we know that that will happen later at some point.
Yes.
But probably not 9, probably in 10.
Yeah.
Because during 9, 9, Damien will be in.
Note, Vic, play piano to summon Damien to Li.
And mysterious guest.
Note, mysterious guest joins Vic and Dame in Li.
Great.
Okay. Let's check out that one scene with Annie and Oswald, and then I think call it an evening. Was that 2 or 3? I think it was 3.
That is 3. 3 AT.
Yeah, 3 AT 2 3.
My inspiration for Annie is, of course, my recent forays back into Fire Emblem 3 Houses with Marietta.
Oh yeah, this is just gonna be Juliet talking to himself.
Great.
Unless anybody
I can
wants.
do it.
Okay. Someone tries to open the door, but it's locked. There's a knock, and the door opens.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I swear it wasn't me. It was Tony. I told him not to. My dear, I haven't the foggiest idea what you're on about. Sorry, I'm Annie. Eddie said I could stay up here. I hope that's okay. I suppose so. You remind me of her, in a way. Oh, great. I'm so sorry. Can I help you with something? Not at all, my dear. It's been a while since I last came up here, and I wanted to have a little look. Oh, I see. It must be unpleasant? A little, yes. I'm so sorry. I'm sure I can find somewhere else to sleep if you'd prefer. No, that's quite all right. It's nice to revisit old memories, isn't it? I think I'll leave you in peace. Okay.
Rest in peace.
Well, it was nice to meet you. Oh, I'm sure we'll meet again.
The door closes.
Can you do me a favor before we stop?
Yeah.
Can you check if Annie is here by herself in scenes 1 and 2?
Ah. No, the names of the files are based on the time, location, and people that are involved. 01 is the time code, AT refers to the attic, and 2 refers to person 2. This is the earliest point that the audio recovery stretches back to for person 2. The scene takes place in the attic. Note that I've capitalized and emboldened the location names to denote where in the dialogue I based them from.
What a weird time to have this.
Okay, because if you look at this, this is 01 AT, so this is the first
yeah,
file
this would be the first, yeah.
from like a numerical alphabetical
That makes
standpoint.
sense. Nowadays, the house has long since been demolished. I couldn't find any records of the layout, so I can only go off the names I found within the audio. Of course, it hasn't been easy to work out where all the audio takes place, but I've tried my best. Below is what I believe happens in this scene. Person 2 is asleep. There's heavy rain outside. Then there's a thunderclap, and she wakes up. She gets out of bed and opens the window. It's stormy outside. You can faintly hear a knock at the front door. That's about all I can make out. We'll put aside the ethics of listening in on someone sleeping for the moment. If you like to follow person 2 through the story, you can try find 2, although it will only show you files you've viewed already. Else you can have a look at the other scenes in time code 01. They all happen at about the same time.
There we go. So we don't know where 3...
Wait, so there's a knock at the door while John is still on the road.
The door did open twice.
Is this Oswald coming in or
Well,
Rupert coming in?
it says...
Well, also because
It says he climbs the
door,
steps and then knocks.
The door opens twice in the scene where John
Yeah.
enters, because Eve opens it first, closes it again, and then Eddie opens it.
And then Eddie opens it, yeah. And he does knock right at the end of 1. So
Okay, that makes sense.
So 2, she must be hearing him get to the house and then knock. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna save
Make sure to...
Don't hit
freaking
load.
disc.
Fantastic game with one little UI issue.
Puzzle stream.
So I have the spreadsheet here. Right now, the only scene where we know where everyone is now is scene 3. But we do know where John is up through scene 8. Eve is up through scene 8. Harry up until his death, and Rupert up until his immediate death.
Okay. This is like way farther than I got when I was playing it on my own, by the way. I got to like I saw those 2 like scene 7s where it was like welcome to act 2, and I was like, oh, I guess I better go back and figure out where everyone else is. Then I hit a wall.
Yeah, it really seems like you need to go back and forth.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh,
Because I don't think we... Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm excited to like see the rest of Act 2 now.
Agreed.
I mean, I think what we have to do is in 2 weeks' time, we have to do 3 more sessions of The Witness, and then 1 more session of this, and then...
So that we forget everything that happened in this game.
If there's one thing that I'm about, it's refusal of the call, and that's
Oh.
that's what the confusion is about, right? Is when you load back into the game and
Yeah.
you don't know what's gonna be happening.
I mean, if we wait long enough, we'll be exactly like the characters in this game, in that we don't remember who the dead people are.
It's true.
Maybe. I mean, something like that. Some, the question of like a ghost being a parasite of memory, like a classic idea of interpretation of ghosts.
Oh.
And I say classic. This is a thing from like 3 years ago. But anyways, still, nevertheless, I think it's interesting. I don't know. To me, that Annie opens the window and we don't hear somebody come in through the window, but why is she opening a window in the middle of a thunderstorm?
Yeah. Huh.
And like Oswald then shows up, and like the way Oswald is depicted to me, I'm remembering the like weird Oswald Pierrot from Cowboy Bebop, like the weird kind of like spherical shaped guy who's a villainous clown who like floats. If folks remember that weird episode of Cowboy Bebop.
I'm saving this for next time.
Also,
Okay.
can you do one more thing for me?
Yeah.
I want to see if there is O2RO2. Did she go out onto the roof?
Oh.
It's a good idea.
I think that was a good instinct, though. Sorry, I wanted to see if I could find Tony and Annie talking, because they established that he went up there to talk to her at some point.
No, it was scene 5. I will jot that down.
Yeah, I made a note of that because I wanted to note down that we hadn't actually read through that scene yet. Okay, I will resave you. Hell yeah. We're gonna come back to this one because I need to know what happens now. Thank you all for playing this confusing game with me, and thank everybody for watching. I'm gonna go eat a crab cake.
Hell yeah.
Pizza time. Everybody's okay. None of us are gonna die. Like, we're all holding hands here. We're gonna be fine, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Great. Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
Pizza time.